Following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. And here we are, Adventures from the Shed online, coming to you through your podcast or your YouTubes or your cell phones or your computers. You are hearing us here online. We're going to be continuing our Dungeon World campaign, and we are going to be kicking that off. I don't want to hit the word kicking on that. We're going to go around the table and say hi, and we'll start with the Z-Man, because he's drinking.
How's it going? I'm Zeb. I'm playing Duke, the human thief. We just leveled up this go around, and my one ability in my advanced move that I chose to pick was shoot first. Cool. You're never caught by surprise.
We'll hear more about that in a minute. We want to make sure everybody gets a chance to say hi. And because we're doing this alphabetically, what comes after Z?
Percent.
So go ahead, Eli.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Eli. I will be playing the human, the fighter, named Julius Jacob Jedediah Jeffrey James Jonathan Jackson, son of Jacob Jedediah Jeffrey James Jonathan Jackson.
Those dads spelled them all with G's, right?
I just realized that your name's an anagram for lie, by the way.
Well, the other thing I thought was funny, I don't remember if we said this before, Eli, but wouldn't you also be like junior? So there's another J at the end that you may not have been counting.
With any luck, I'll have a junior.
There you go.
I guess we'll see after this adventure.
And last in our introductions, the person whose name does not start with a Z or an E.
Yes, it is I, Randy, who plays Pot, the wizard, elf. The
wizard. Pot. And I'm Joe. I'm our game master for our Dungeon World campaign. Zeb had already started to talk a little about character level up. One of the things we did at the end of our last session was we wanted to do a couple of the Dungeon World moves that go along with the leveling up. And to do that, after we defeated a couple of lava-infused zombie goblins, or magma, as Eli pointed out, we're still underground at this point, and we did a make camp move. So we settled in, everyone consumed a ration. We're going to have a watch order in a minute. In the meantime, we're going to go through that we had enough experience for these three characters, Duke and Jays and Pat, to level up. So we're going to talk a little bit about what they chose for what their level up would be and why they think it made sense for their character. And Zeb, we'll go back to you. So you did something with the bow?
Yeah, so I think you're gonna be a straight shooter, something like that.
Yeah.
Straight to the point about what you have.
All right, shoot first. You're never caught by surprise. When an enemy would get the drop on you, you get to act first instead.
This could be very useful if you're the one on watch when something bad happens.
For sure.
Yeah. Did you? Where did you put the one ability point? Or did you not yet?
Yeah, no, I totally did that.
I totally did it.
I'll just add another one to dexterity.
You sure? This is one of the things I think we may have talked about off air last time, so I'll mention it quick. Across the top of the Dungeon World character sheet, where it says assign these scores to your stats, it's in one of the black bars there. You can see where the numbers might change. So, for example, whatever you put a 12 on, if you put the 1 point into that, it goes to a 13 and you get a +1. The 12 is +0, 13 is a +1, etc. So you might want to place it more strategically. Wherever you put your 15, if you add the point, it'll become a 16 and be a +2. Just throwing that out there. You don't have to say it right now. You can still think about it if you want.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I've been like, out of all of the scenarios that we've had to go through so far, I haven't had to use my strength or my charisma in any way. And those are those two abilities. So
we could have something come up. And then the other one to consider is wherever you put the 8 is a -1, and you could make it a 0 by turning it into a 9. Well, make it so you wouldn't have a -1 on anything. But that's an option.
I think it might just be par for the course that my intelligence just be a -1.
Cool.
I got enough intelligence for the both of us.
The
brain time.
last thing I would add on to that, as far as advice goes, is when it comes to Dungeon World, except for Constitution, the only thing we care about is the modifier. So technically, making your dexterity 17 instead of 16 does nothing for your rolls. You'll still just get a +2. And we don't use the actual stat of dexterity anywhere. We use Constitution because that's your hit points.
I put it in charisma.
Okay. Yeah. Randy, you're not muted. You go next.
Hi, again, Randy here. I chose for my advanced move that I get for this Arcane Ward, which gives me +2 to armor as long as I have a spell slot open, which I will probably lose Magic Missile right away, knowing Joe. So anyway, I think I have 3 now at level 2, 2 + 1, right?
Yep, exactly. They have three levels worth of spells that you can prepare.
And did everybody go up a point? Because I did not realize that was a thing. If it was,
Yeah, every level up, you can add 1 point to any ability.
okay. So when I had made ahead of time, not just right now, my strength to 9 for when Joe takes my magic missile away and I have to go bonk people. That was planned, totally.
You won't have a -1 then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli.
Hello.
Talk to me about Jays.
All right. So Jays, as everybody knows, is a soft boy extraordinaire. He doesn't like hurting people. He doesn't like being in confrontation, and he definitely doesn't like doing more than he has to. With that in mind, my level up has first things first, put the 1 ability point into intelligence, so I no longer have a penalty. And my rationale is that I am surrounded by people that are smarter than me, so therefore I am smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Rule of averages, right?
I like that.
So you're the guy who lets everyone else do the work on the assignment while you just sit there and I colored in the picture.
It's not that it's not that I don't pull my weight, right? It's just other people are more suited for the task.
There you go.
Speaking of being more suited for the task, the advanced move I chose for the fighter was Improved Weapon, which allows me to choose 1 extra enhancement for my signature weapon, which is the fighter's main shtick in Dungeon World. They have their weapon. There are many like it, but this one is theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, for those of you who don't remember or are only joining us now this time, the first one, hello, welcome. I have chosen a flail. This is a massive flail. It's on like an 8-foot pole. It's got a 2-foot chain.
Bigger every time.
Yeah,
his main shtick is the main stick.
Yes, my main shtick is the main stick.
Yeah,
it's got a flail the size of my head on it, and it's beautiful. It had the properties close and reach, so I could use it in melee or to hit somebody a little farther away from me. It also had the huge and versatile traits. Versatile just gave it reach.
I thought you had messy on it.
I thought about it and I said no.
Okay.
Where? Oh yeah, the huge adds messy and forceful. What I thought about was well crafted, but weight hasn't really taken much of an effect here. So I had huge and versatile. So it's got reach, it's got messy, it's got forceful. I've decided to add hooks and spikes, which increase its weight by 1, but improves its damage by 1.
Oh my, yeah.
The soft boy is making a big mess of things.
Definitely, yeah. I am already thinking of things that you're going to have to pick out of the spikes and hooks, and yeah.
I actually do have an idea for the hooks and spikes. Instead of them just magically protruding out of the flail. An advanced move I get later is blacksmith, which allows me to imbue magical properties into the weapon. And I want to take that later. But I think right now, since I don't have access to a forge, which blacksmith requires, I will take the magma zombie goblin guts that we made in the last session. I will roll the flail around in that, and then I will roll the flail around in the crystal shards that Duke escaped from. So hooks and spikes right now is just broken glass.
Cool. So I was going to suggest something that maybe we could combine the two, because what I was going to say is I think it was Jay's that busted the crystal, right?
I thought it was.
It was a combined effort of
Yeah.
using the what's it called? The not tribute. The thing I can
Sacrifice.
do.
Yeah, everybody was bashing on it.
Ritual.
The ritual.
Ritual.
Okay.
The ritual. Yeah.
Then we will stick with what Eli said. Yes. So you've got magma guts that. So essentially, the flail, the head of the flail, would have like
Melted glass
pumice,
shards
obsidian,
onto it.
and
Yeah.
crystal shards, and it would be lumpy and rough, and yeah, for sure. Okay.
Just kind of softly caress it. Don't worry, I'll fix you when I get home.
Nice. All right.
I care
So
about my weapon.
There are many like it, but that one is yours. Right.
Mom made me this one.
That's it. So there's a spot on it that just has a heart and says mother as well, right?
Exactly.
And that spot nothing sticks to, so you can still see that even with all the other stuff on it.
Call your mother, kids.
Call your mom. Tell her you said hi, if nothing else.
I don't want to.
I get to see her on Saturday.
But that's everything for Jay's.
Outstanding. So we had finished our last session after defeating those couple of zombies, and we have our party kind of just down a hallway from where the main magma pool was for the volcano, or at least one of. There's a big magma pool there. We're taking the time to level up, make camp, and again, going back to that, part of it is you have to determine a watch order. And for those listening, you may have noticed you didn't hear Chris's voice. He won't be with us tonight, so we're actually going to throw his character into the watch order first so that I can make him poof for the evening. And after that, what watch order do you three want to have? Now, if you want to take a look, actually anybody, if you want, whomever, go to the moves sheet and read out take watch so we know what we're doing. Somebody want to read that one? I could, but I already talked a lot. Let somebody else
take watch.
There it is, Randy.
I just found it. Goddamn.
For some reason, there's a typo here. It says when you're on watch and something approaches the camp, roll plus wisdom. On a 10+, you're able to wake the camp and prepare a response. The camp takes +1 forward. On a 7 to 9, you react just a moment too late. The camp is awake but hasn't had time to prepare. You have weapons and armor, but little else. On a miss, whatever lurks outside the campfire's light has the drop on you.
Yeah. So with that in mind, the idea is, of course, something is going to happen. You guys are in this volcano. What we'll end up doing is we'll have my typical position on this is we'll have the three of you say who's going to do watch when, so what order, 1, 2, and 3. And then all three of you will roll. And then I'll usually just take the lowest roll and say something happens on that watch. Just so you know. I'll give you that heads up right now because I want everyone to be able to roll because, of course, if you can't roll, then you can't have a failure, which means you don't get an experience point. So I like to do it that way. With that in mind, again, we'll have the paladin up first. And who would be second?
Last.
I'll be second since
all right,
last
Jays
was
will be
called.
second.
Yeah.
It sounds like Duke will be third.
Yep.
Okay. So we got Jays, Duke, and Pat. And yeah, let's go ahead with the rolls.
I need my 8 hours.
So what you're going to be rolling here is blah blah blah. It says you just roll plus wisdom. That's what it is when you take a watch. So let's go with Jays
plus whatever.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, the D4 was a test because it was saying I was not allowed to roll. Come on, work with me here.
Yeah, I noticed for me, it'll do that on the first roll, and then I refresh the page, and it works after that. Because when I first set this up every time, I have to refresh the page at least once. And then we're all set. Oh, my. So,
hey, I got an 11.
Now, do you have no modifier for wisdom?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. So we got an 11. Now, what does Duke get for wisdom roll.
Oh,
Wow.
See, now this is where it could be very fortunate. So first things first, go ahead and mark an experience because that's a 3.
Okay.
it's
Dang.
almost a
I did
natural
4 times
fail.
better than you did.
I
And
was
then-
like super bored. I was like
Yeah.
kicking stuff around, whistling, seeing how long I can hold my breath for. Things like
Pat.
that.
Roll plus wisdom, Pat. Let's see how your watch goes.
Worst here.
Oh, so Randy, go ahead and mark an experience for Pat as well, because that's a 5. But
I'm
here's where I
burdened
was
by
saying,
success.
Zeb, when you mentioned your advanced move, do you want to mention that again?
Yep, let me find it real fast.
Because this actually
scroll down
works out
the
based
page.
on all the stuff I just
Something
said.
about shooting stars or something.
Well,
right?
I said right from the beginning that I'm going to have all 3 of you roll, and the lowest one is going to be whose watch this thing happens on. And then Duke just realized.
I'm never caught by surprise. When an enemy would get the drop on me, I get to act first.
Nice. So this is a guy who, like you said, wasn't paying attention to anything, but realized he should be at some point, and poof.
Yeah,
All right.
the spidey senses tingled, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up while I was like trying to balance on one leg.
That's it. So Duke, you notice coming down the hallway, like right at the edge of your vision, and at this point, you were second on watch. You know what? Let me. Jays.
Yeah.
Pick odd or even and roll any die.
I am going even, and it'll be this.
Wow.
So you got an odd number. You
Yeah.
did not notice that the paladin wasn't there during your watch. People are just kind of snuggled up in their, sleeping bags or whatever. And you just didn't notice he wasn't there. I was going to give you a 50-50
I
shot.
thought he woke me up. I have
Maybe.
a distinct memory of him
There you
waking
go.
me up, I think.
But at this point, I don't have to even worry about Pat noticing because where something happens before Pat would even notice. And that's what happens here. So first things first, Duke, you noticed maybe what brought you to your senses is you noticed that there's only 2 other people here and there should have been 3. It looks like everything that the paladin was carrying is just on the floor. Weapon, shield, gone with the paladin, the clothes he was wearing, but anything like a backpack or any supplies kind of thing are just laying there where he set them before he went to sleep.
My eyes get super wide, and I'm really thinking about taking all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. And then down the hallway, out of the darkness, you see a very short goblin, like kind of slowly shuffling towards you, holding out like a tattered piece of white cloth, kind of waving it.
I'm gonna kick Pot. I'm just like kicking him lightly on the boot.
Why are the gerbils in my head dancing?
Come on, get out. I liked it a lot more before you said lightly.
Ow.
And
What?
do you see that? Do my eyes deceive me?
It's a goblin surrendering?
And by the way, goblins here in this world, goblins grow. The maximum height is about 5 feet. Your average goblin is between 4 and 5. This goblin is probably like a 2.5 foot goblin. This definitely a little one.
What is that?
Should we kill it?
Speak, friend, and enter.
Murder.
Belloc.
Jace, wake up.
Murder.
Jace.
Bonk! Goblin white cloth.
Goblin
something.
got it. All right.
So you can see, by the way, especially Duke and Pat, you can see the goblin kind of like stutter step a little as you guys are all waking up. Maybe it felt a little more comfortable just approaching one, but it is still moving towards you. And Jays, you would see like right away, as soon as they point there, now the thing is close enough to light that you can see it easier.
How is the pool noodle reacting to the presence of this
That's a
goblin?
good question.
Is it growling at it? Is it
The pool noodle is right now snoring in the most adorable fashion on Pat's shoulder. No, I said adorable.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever you think adorable is, yeah. So it could be that. It could be exactly that.
It's
But
reciting
that,
the
yeah, you
entire
get no
B movie
reaction out of
script.
it right now.
Well,
Well-
I am going to suggest that one of you two, or maybe both of you two, go and talk to this strange small goblin creature while I pack up camp.
I think you need
I
to
need
give
to-
me 15 minutes to do my morning stretches. I have to
And
be
I-
limber.
I need an hour to prepare my spells for the day.
Why don't we invite him over for breakfast?
You guys would notice at this point, too, for sure, that there are only 3 awake adventurers, and the 4th is not present.
Also, where the heck is Manfred?
Who knows? And I keep looking over at his stuff, like, you know.
Yes, you guys would also see the same thing, that his stuff is there, but not his equipment, so to speak. Whatever armor, shield, sword, that's all with him. But any rations, if he had a little backpack of stuff or anything like that, is laying on the ground.
I'm gonna take the 6-foot haft of my flail and just like poke in and around Manfred's stuff. Well, he's not invisible.
Correct.
Okay.
I can be invisible.
I bet you can. Are we inviting the goblin for breakfast while we break
I-
camp or what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I scream out. I'm like, little boy, what do you want? What do you want, little boy?
So the goblin is still kind of shaking the tattered white cloth in front of it.
I don't know what that means, little boy. I'm not coming over there.
It approaches you a little quicker, hearing that you're calling it over. And at this point, to my knowledge, nobody's like drawn a weapon and is approaching said goblin.
I
right?
have my
That's like
flail, but
this.
it's like having a walking stick. Like I'm not
Yeah.
wielding it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, poke.
What was that, Randy?
Pat's like this. What?
Hiding?
Is it still? I'm trying to study, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get that invisibility spell. That way you can be invisible while you prepare your spells and no one will bother you.
Pat, here's your coffee.
you.
Yeah, so it approaches, and as it gets closer, it never stops holding like this white cloth next to it, almost like it's a comfort thing or something. And it says, my master has sent me to you. You cannot keep killing the army.
We can kill whatever we want to.
Now,
Your master
Pat,
needs
hold
to
on.
stop.
That wouldn't fly in the city. Why should it fly here? Oh, right.
They're zombies.
Oh, look at the goblin.
Now,
Yeah,
this is a regular goblin, by the way, not a zombie, not a lava infused regular goblin.
Yeah, I squat real low. I get eye level with it because you're supposed to do that with children.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm like, they're already dead. What don't you understand about this little boy? The morality, like they're dead already.
Why do you keep calling it little boy? I'm sure it has a name. Do we
Still-
even know
still
if it's a boy?
Still holding up the cloth that says like, I'm 237. I'm not a boy.
Oh,
What is that
whatever.
cloth you're holding?
Oh, and as you say it, there's like, oh, and then it just kind of drops it. It's like it was just doing it subconsciously, not wanting to die. I'm very nervous about these people that have come here and started killing everything.
And if we say no,
The army is one of the only ways to stop the cold.
The
the cold?
Yes, not hot, cold.
Listen, little boy, we're inside a volcano. I don't know what's going on. This is all way too, like, the paladin's missing.
Yes. Have you seen
I
an
think
angry man yelling the truth about this tall?
I think the cold may have taken him.
Do you know where the cold is?
It will be everywhere if we do not stop it.
Is it Divok again? I've heard about that. COVID backwards.
Where's your dad?
This is part of that global cooling conspiracy, isn't it?
That's funny.
Told you not to kill and eat vampires.
My father can't help now, but
What-
you can.
How?
Stop killing the only resistance to the cold.
You sound pretty cold, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You got the sniffles.
Look, if you just take us to your dad, I'm sure we can get this all straightened out.
Is there anyone else here I can talk to?
Not someone sane.
Oh, perhaps.
Okay.
We're all doomed.
Look, you're not doing a great job of selling us on this cold thing here.
That means that I'm doing a great job on selling the goblin.
Look.
Because this goblin isn't as smart as he ought to be out here talking to you guys.
I'm gonna pick up the cloth he dropped and hand it back to him.
You're free
I'll
now.
tell you what. If you're
Gobby has
if-
clothes.
if you're the army stops making problems for people everywhere else, then we'll stop being a problem for you and this master dad dude. Is that
What do you
okay?
mean problems everywhere. The army has never left the volcano.
That's a
Then,
lie. We've seen them outside.
Yeah, what about these rolling spiky death balls in this and the fact that the goblin's village was destroyed?
Thomas,
Did you knock me out?
The army needs to be made. Oh, was that you? I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna smack him with the cloth.
Okay.
Not beat him with him, but just
Like
Yep.
a duelist
how
glove?
dare you? In the same way that one would throw one's glove
Yeah, there
in,
you go.
in
Okay.
that kind of
So
You
an
jerk.
incredibly sheepish look as the goblin looks up at you, and I'm so sorry.
It's okay, little boy. We're gonna get you to your dad. I swear.
Dude,
you
I
just
don't-
gotta find it. You just gotta tell
We're
us
having
where
a
he is.
competition for who has the lowest intelligence score.
All right. So, are there others alive
I
like
just
you?
raised mine.
Go ahead, Pat.
Are there others alive like you? Because he hasn't left anybody else alive. We can tell. He's killed everybody else.
Almost everyone volunteered for the army. There are some more that did not volunteer that are still helping. Because in the army, you don't think anymore.
Does he have a brochure?
Is it, like, are
A
there, yeah,
memorandum?
some
Join the
hive
Love Army today.
Don't be a fool. You'll be dead.
goblin
It's like
bomb.
it's probably easy enough to discern that he's not quite grasping the whole dead undead kind of thing. It's just that they're alive now and not speaking, right? So once you join the way he's phrasing it, once you join the army, you don't talk or think or whatever anymore. That's just
Yeah, you
must
That's
be
what an
because
army
they
does. Why do you think I didn't sign up? I like
Yeah.
thinking.
yeah, you're
There's
part
not
of-
much in there, but I like thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. If he's such a good guy, why don't you take us to this master and we'll talk to him? And if he's
Yes.
not a good guy, then we'll beat him up. And if he is a good guy, we'll beat up the cold.
Yes, we want to hear from your master out of his mouth what he wants with this.
Do you think that has anything to
volcano.
do with the trap that was at the start? Because that was really
trap?
cold.
Yeah, it was cold, wasn't it?
Possibly.
Oh, my
But-
slushie's gone.
What?
Melted. Pulling up my water skin, my slushie.
Oh,
slushy. Yeah.
The cold trap made this into a slushie, but it's all melted now because of all the
Yeah.
magma.
Probably when you walk past the magma pool.
it's also probably the last of the water we have because the buckets have ran dry.
Oh yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
we got
just
w-
cap my water
so
skin.
again, his reaction is he's there to try and help everybody. So he's like, you're asking about take me to your leader kind
Take
of
me
thing.
to your master dad
Yeah.
leader.
And I think you were saying like we should have heard from him first or something. Somebody said that. Why didn't he just tell us or something like that? I thought I heard someone say that. But anyway, he sees it. You're just killing everything and thought it would be a bad idea to just come say hi.
We were attacked by a giant ball of death first, so.
Were you in a place that you weren't supposed to be?
I think a village is where we can be.
Oh, the blade balls only protect where they're assigned.
I was told to find missing people, and somebody knocked me out when I got to town. I think I have every right to be mad and start killing things.
Okay, well, we won't kill anymore if we get an audience with the master.
I will wait to kill more things until after we talk to master.
I can take you there easy if you can promise not to kill him.
Sure, yeah, I promise. Come on, boy. And I pick him up.
I
Goblin pinky swear?
I promise to let him talk unless that talking is casting a spell on us.
Oh. He does talk a lot when he makes the magic.
Well, discern realities, Joe.
What? Yes. Technically, though, what you would be doing is taking the time to try and figure out what's going on. And that would trigger the discern realities move. Yeah.
Okay. I just feel like this is very, very strange.
I can continue to argue with this goblin.
You know what? Let's just see where he takes us. This is fine.
Like if you need me to buy time, I'll keep.
Roll.
I will. I have argued with the child for hours. You think I won't do this? This man is 237. We are both cranky.
I will go for a roll. Let's see. What is it? Plus again?
So plus wisdom.
Is plus wisdom. That's a 1.
Because that's your best score, right?
Wisdom's not my best. Intelligence is, right?
Because he's a nerd.
I'm making a half joke because before we started, I mentioned that there was an advanced move that you could take that would let you use intelligence for discern realities.
Oh, right.
Well, I still got an 11. So
11. Hey. Oh my gosh!
So I get 3 of those.
So Randy, again, I'll go with the way I normally play it. Especially you got a 10 plus. You can pick 2 questions from the list, and then just any other question you want.
Okay.
Now, and we're only going to do one at a time because the first answer may change your next question. So, what is really you would like to know?
Who's really in control here? Does it feel like the goblins of its own free will and just following orders, or does it seem?
Well, which question do you want to ask me?
That's okay.
Because I'm going to answer the question, not the question about the question.
Question that's there. Who's really in control here?
Okay. Because for me, I interpret any of these questions in a way to give you what I hope is useful information. You think back for whatever reason while Jays is arguing with the 237-year-old.
I told you, blueberry's better.
Right. So while that's going on, you're taking the time to study, and you think back. Once upon a time, Thomas in the Crimson Order, who again you knew a little bit back in the day, he used to have a servant who was a tiny goblin and had been around for a very long time. And you had learned that the two of them were collaborating on magic stuff. And at this point, as far as who is really in control here, it's definitely between Thomas and the goblin.
More than likely Thomas in my head then, since he was referring to him as master.
Yeah.
Okay. What here is useful or valuable to me?
You know that crusty white cloth? Or Jay's is. Well, Duke is valuable. You're useful.
For our audio only listeners, I was pointing at myself and Zeb on camera.
But we have useful or valuable to me here. Let me just give you a little bit more insight into Goblin Says. The goblin is definitely genuinely concerned that you guys are destroying their only defense against what he has called the cold. And to the point where you can tell in the goblin's face, if you guys were to keep going, that things could get more nasty.
Let's see.
And you can ask any one question that isn't on the list as well. And I will answer it honestly.
Where is Manfred?
Where's Manfred? Because I could honestly say, not here.
Clearly. I don't really have a third question.
Anybody else?
Maybe it was magical. If you guys have one, then we can spitball that.
I think
you're all together.
Yeah.
You could just be saying, Pat, what do your elf ears hear? Right. I don't think he's an elf.
Pat's an elf.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot. I thought it was all humans. 3 humans and an elf.
Elf the whole time because I got the
that's my
cantrip
favorite
protect
sitcom.
magic.
But yeah, between Jays and Duke, you're all in the same place. You're all seeing the same stuff. So you're welcome to contribute to that.
Well, now it's a human and elf and a piece of scrap. I don't know.
What?
You had the paper. I don't know. We were talking about, or the cloth. I don't know. Dumb joke. Anyway.
I mean, I would think what is the cold, but I don't think we actually have enough clues up to this point to get a real answer.
That,
quote unquote.
I would give you the answer that the goblin could give you thoroughly, instead of just saying the cold. But it would be from the context of the goblin. It would be more info than you have now, just so you know.
What all can you tell us about the cold?
What all can you tell? I'm surprised you haven't heard the cold from the east. It is destroying, freezing, and there's no way to stop it. My master thinks the power of the volcano can stop it.
Oh, you got an overactive imagination, little boy.
he definitely does. From that perspective, oh yeah.
I don't know. That was
all of that is honest truth from Goblin Mouth.
Very brief description. Not a lot of detail in there. Is that really creativity? Sounds like he's just saying whatever he wants to get us to go talk to this dude.
I mean,
your soft boy is very smart.
I'm all for it. We need to reunite this boy with his father.
All right. There's a magma pit over here. Let's go see if you can swim.
That's not.
My father's statue is the only thing left standing in the village.
Is that who that guy was?
Oh yeah. That heroic goblin statue thing.
Yeah. Duke, you're sounding awfully cagey. Did something happen to that statue?
I don't remember.
Goblin father, let's go.
All right. I'm all done stretching.
I'd like to interfere with Jay's attack on Duke.
So if you guys are willing to follow the goblin.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's like
sort of unwillingly, but still.
I mean, I can only trust them about as far as I can throw them.
I don't mind.
Go pretty far.
My character's
just a goblin.
My character's internal, like he has like no rationale, no fear.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
plow forward. Yeah.
I will pack up Manfred's stuff and carry it with my own.
No, I got it.
Pat's head is just going, it's a trap,
no.
It's a trap, it's a trap.
Manfred would kill me for trusting anybody else with his stuff, and I will kill you if you do anything to his stuff. So to avoid us killing each other, I'm just going to carry his stuff.
I would carry it myself, but I'm kind of scrawny.
Thank you for your honesty. That took a lot. I'm proud of you.
All right, well then you take point, and I'll just walk right behind you.
Okay.
Stand in front and stay within stick reach.
Before you guys get started, the goblin will tell you, I am called Frederf. I will take you to my master, Thomas.
All right, come on, Freddy. And I pick him up and I put him on my shoulder.
Hello, Frederf. I am Julius Jet Jacob Jedediah Jeffrey James Jonathan Jackson, son of Jet Jacob Jedediah Jeffrey James Jonathan Jackson. It's an honor.
Yes, and I am Dorothy Patty Becca. You can call me Pat.
Oh, call me Jays.
I'm just holding him. And I'm like, you can call me Duke.
Call me Duke.
Uncle Duke, come on, let's go. We'll get you back to your dad. Don't worry, son.
Get you on back to your daddy.
The goblin's eyes are getting tired from rolling every time he says it. It's like he's putting up with Duke just to get you guys to go along.
Like he really wants us to stop killing people.
Yeah. So he does. You walk like 50 feet or so down the hallway, and Frederf looks over at you, Duke, to turn his head towards you, and it's like, you'll need to let me down for this part.
All right, little fella. I'll put him down. I take one step.
I did not
back.
think you were going to say fella there.
A little fella.
So he shuffles forward a little bit, and by shuffle, it's like, old man goblin shuffle is what I mean. It's just kind of shuffling around.
I look back and I'm like, kind of walking kind of funny for a kid.
Goblin kids.
Maybe he just hurt his back. You know how children are, always playing, roughhousing.
Yeah, I fell off the trampoline.
What's a trampoline?
I know what a tramp is.
That's when a couple of horses run you over. Trampoline.
Trampoline.
Oh, it's just that accent. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I somehow have developed the country accent.
I've never seen this side of Duke before.
Yeah, Duke. Used
I don't think I want to.
I just met him.
Well, Duke used to work at a school, and he knows that for some reason kids are, they're more receptive to somebody that talks like this, real slow, like.
The goblin is sighing more than you would expect a goblin to sigh, but it shuffles over.
He's got breathing problems.
It shuffles over to the wall on one side and puts its hand up onto the wall. The spot where it puts his hand, it glows for a moment, and then the wall kind of fades away. He walks over this threshold into what is darkness. You can't see into there. He walks through that threshold, and just his hand is sticking out from it and kind of tries to wave you guys in.
I cast light on my staff.
Just so you know, I was going along with the presumption that you had light on something already.
Oh,
because I wasn't describing that it was dark. So I was going to, in my head, you already had light.
Okay, well, if you want to do that, but we had gone to sleep, so I was just trying to be,
But as long as the thing stays in your presence, it doesn't stop.
That's true. Okay, it's still
unless you want it to stop. Yeah.
No, the light died when Chris left. He's the light of my life.
So there was some form of light, because again, the way I described it when Duke first saw the goblin was at the edge of the light you could see. So it's like there was light from something, just for my own internal consistency, because you wouldn't have been walking down a pitch black hallway for the last 50 feet. So what do you guys do?
We killed the darkness. Oh, wait.
Please don't.
I cast magic missile.
Casted at. What are you talking about?
The darkness.
So I guess, how are you approaching it? So the goblin just walked through, and it, the hand comes out and it waves you guys forward. What order? The space is only big enough for one person to walk through at a time. What order? And is it anything like, all right, tie a rope around that? I mean, are you guys just walking? How's it going?
I'll just blindly go because I trust this little goblin man.
Cool.
I will wait for Duke to go first because I trust the goblin little man boy more than Duke. Okay. I was serious about what I said about Manfred's stuff.
The whole pie incident, man. I mean,
and then the whole trap thing, finding out,
Yeah.
Manfred's, little family crest.
Thanks for the inspiration for today's photo, by the way. Send it into the.
Randy just shared his little his doodle. Let me I'll get that up on the screen at some point here. Or Zeb, if you want to find get it into a window and then do that share. But in the meantime, Duke walks through, and from Jay's and Pat's side, Duke walks through and poof, he's gone. The dark curtain, if you will, is still there. I won't describe what you see yet, Duke, because I want them to make up their decision first. There we go.
I was waiting on this.
Let's go, little feller.
Oh, little fella, let's get at it.
That's awesome. I am so glad you did the big ear thing, because I was going to describe it, but I wanted to leave the goblin up to you guys' imagination. And in my head, he had big ears and a big old head. So you nailed that.
For audio listeners, Randy has drawn a sketch of Duke cradling this goblin as one would a small child or perhaps an infant, saying, "Let's go, little feller." The goblin.
Yeah.
I tried to do the eye roll, but it turns out it went the same direction as he was kind of pointing. So.
I think it actually comes across very well.
Yeah.
Just he looks annoyed to me, and the goblin is pointing in the direction, like, all right, we're going that way.
Happy. Duke's just like stoked.
Like I did, like this is how I gain all my karma back from all the stealing. I gotta help this little boy.
Yeah, lost little orphan. Oh, you even drew the little scrap of cloth in his other hand.
Yes,
that is awesome. Beautiful, and I love it.
All right, back to the darkness.
Back to the dark. Yeah. So from the outside, you see, again, think of it like a curtain. There's just a darkness curtain. The goblin walks through it first. The little hand comes out to wave you guys in. Duke just walks through, and poof, the darkness doesn't move or anything. It's just when the last bit of Duke passes through that plane, it's just dark again. So Jays and Pat.
Oh, so he's dead, right? We should go.
That's it. We're done.
Oh, he's definitely dead.
Insert sound of wiping hands here, and off you go.
Unfortunately, Pat, I
was kidding. Let's go.
Oh, I was okay. I think I'm a little lost. I'm not sure if I could find my way back out. Oh my god, Joe, your face cam froze on you like mid laugh, so your eyes are closed, your mouth's just like, ah.
Psycho, man.
That was great to look up to.
Awesome.
But yes, we go.
Oh, you looked up to Joe. How sweet.
I mean, he's probably taller than me.
Possibly.
I'm not stating.
Good silent moment. I think we talked about this before. I'm like 5'11" and a half. I'd never quite reached 6 feet. But you said you were like, what, 5'7", was it? Eli?
Me?
You said he doesn't want to give it away.
No, I've not spoken of my. I've said that I have.
You said you were short.
I am of a shorter stature, but I've never given a number on this. Not that I remember.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I am on all of my dating profiles 5'4".
Oh, which means you're what, 4'9"?
Look, I'm definitely not passing off as 5.5, but
okay, cool.
But yes, we followed through.
All right. So when you guys follow through, you see the same thing that Duke saw. On the other side is just a continuing hallway, but in this case, the hallway itself is like Pat would immediately recognize this is magical. The portal, you're pretty much going through a portal. For the others, it just looks like, super shiny, awesome, cool rock walls instead of the boring rock walls that you've been walking through. But Pat is, right off the bat, this is a magical portal that you're walking through right now.
Okay.
I've never known goblins to keep their homes so shiny.
The master keeps it. The master keeps it shiny, not high.
Well, you should.
Good. That'd be child labor.
What's
There
wrong
are
with little
valid
child
laws
labor,
against
Duke?
that.
I helped my dad on the farm growing up.
Because you should have had fun.
I did have fun.
That's what
Do
life's
you know how many
about.
badgers I got to chase out of the field?
I just had to read a lot of books growing up.
Oh, you poor thing.
Lots and lots of books.
Man, I just kind of screwed around.
Whoa, my screen went dark. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you, yeah.
Why did my screen go dark? Hold on, something's going on.
Randy's gone dark. That's what
Randy
happened.
Oh,
Randy
see,
looks
that's what
very
happened.
threatening
I
with
bumped
his face
my
just
Vizio
in shadow.
plug. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Pat
Okay.
slipped and fell back out of the darkness.
I don't know. Help me! Someone got my arm. I'm like
I
a certain
will grab
wizard
his
from a
arm.
video game who got stuck in a portal.
What's a video game?
I don't know. I'm seeing things in 3 different dimensions.
The madness. It's taking me. So shiny hallways. Oh, that's a
All
very
right,
blue.
I'm
oh,
back.
okay.
All right.
Oh,
Randy
it has to
was
be
very
plugged
blue.
in? That's crazy.
You know,
Who'd have
it
thought?
always helps when you keep your monitor plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, following the goblin, it's again for Pat, this is very easily recognizable as magic. You realize like while you're walking, it's as if the floor moves extra under your feet. And anybody who would look down, you would see like you put your foot down and I don't know, picture like moonwalking kind of thing, or the moving walkway at the airport. When you look down, it's moving along with you. It's not like standing still kind of thing. But it's definitely weird to look at the floor as you're walking, and you can feel maybe through your equilibrium or something, but you're traveling a lot faster than at walking speed. And after maybe 15 seconds or so, it doesn't take too long after the last comment about the little boy and the master. The whole thing just kind of think of the fast zoom of at the end of the hallway, a big room opens up. So it's like the camera just zoom and poof, all of a sudden you're right there. And there's just this big domed room, almost actually for us, very reminiscent, say, of a planetarium. The ceiling is domed and you can see what looks like constellations and stuff marked along the top of the dome. Excuse me. And around the room, mad scientist workshop. Bunch of tables, 10, 12 tables, big heavy duty wooden tables, beakers, foaming liquids, little fires under liquids, just fires hanging in the air, magical stuff. And in the center of the room is Pat would recognize Thomas, and he's in the center of the room. He's wearing peasant garb, like a tattered t-shirt, regular shirt, whatever, with a tattered vest over it, and pants that are too big and tied with a rope around his waist. And he's just muttering random words.
Did you leave the college to become a homeless person? What happened to you, man?
What are you talking about? This is a pretty good home. It's bigger than my parents' place.
The master will
bigger
not
than the
answer
farm.
you now.
Oh, you'll answer.
His eyes are like clouded over, almost like a mist, like when a shark's eyes roll back and that whiteness covers them, kind of thing.
Yes, he's trying to control the volcano. I know.
yes, magic.
Let's.
Is that what he's doing?
So is it just him in this room with the goblin, or is
Yes.
there anything within eye shot?
Yeah,
There's nothing. It again, for Pat at least, you recognize you're like in a magically constructed place. You're probably not even in the volcano at this point. You might be, but you're probably not.
How is he controlling the volcano from here? Do you know? Or trying to, at least.
It is hard to explain because I do not understand how we can be here and there, but we are.
But you've worked with him for a long time. He didn't explain this to you?
He has explained it. He would tell you many, many times.
You weren't listening, were you?
I do not understand. I still don't know how I am here and there, but I am.
You said that his eyes are glossed over, right?
The Thomas's, yes.
Yeah. I'm like waving my hand. Does that do anything?
No response.
No response.
No
No snaps. No.
Yeah, he's definitely in a full-on trance. And he is muttering, but he is not muttering any real words.
I'd like to cast light on his eyeballs. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, zing. Didn't think about using it as a weapon until right then.
So
what-
how
well,
long is he going to be
what's the-
like this goblin person? Freddy?
He wasn't
Frederf.
Frederf. And if anybody cares, this is a thing I do with names sometimes. It is Fred and then Fred backwards. So it's Fred.
I
ERF.
see.
Yeah.
Oh,
palindrome.
I went for the IRPH for some reason.
That's not bad either.
Fred.
Frederf. Gosh, what the hell are we just saying? I got lost because I was thinking of a character in a different game that I had named like that. Damn it. What was the question?
So how long is he going to stay like this goblin
That's right.
person, Fred?
He was
Yeah, I think
the
that's
master was not expecting you. I was supposed to ask you not to kill the army and then you were going to leave. I usually do not disturb him like this, but you promised you wouldn't kill him.
Oh no, he's an optimist.
Ah.
While they're talking to Fred or
Boy.
yeah,
The boy.
the little boy.
Little boy.
I'm going through his pockets.
The goblin's pockets?
No.
Okay. Thomas does not have any pockets. However, if you're, giving him a good frisking,
Yeah.
then you will find that underneath, you can feel a big medallion underneath his clothing. Thick chain that you can't see the shirt's hiding it, but it's a thick chain that you can feel, and a big medallion underneath the clothing.
I'm gonna try and take the medallion.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything specific you would like to roll for that, or
no, because you're just going to do it. It doesn't necessarily change what could be happening. Therefore, there's not really a need for a roll.
Cool.
In this case, what you'll do is you'll take that. When you get the medallion off of him, this is. I actually just thought of this because I saw on a Roku commercial, but Flava Flav, think big ass medallion, big. It's a big, thick gold rope that's holding it, and the medallion itself is at least as big as your fist, not as thick, but that big around. And on the medallion, on one side of the medallion is embossed flames, and on the other side is embossed snowflake.
all right. So I successfully removed it from him.
And
carefully.
by the way, you guys, Pat and Jays, would see this because there's no way not to. The guy standing in the middle of the room.
Duke, stop
Now,
touching that wizard. You don't know where he's been.
It's fine. I gotta get this thing.
I have a few
And-
questions more for you, Frederf, when you have a second.
And when Frederf notices, he does say, the master will want that back when he's ready.
Yeah, he's just holding on to it for a minute.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
He's got a whole thing about this.
He's got a cleaning kit and all this stuff. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, watch repair. Duke's watch
He-
repair.
Look, look in his
Okay.
bag. He holds all kinds of jewels and everything that he
That don't
cleans
belong to
all
him.
the time.
Yeah, I clean all these.
And
if you
a
want
quarter of
pawn
a pie.
anything-
Would you like some pecan pie?
Oh, I thought we finished that. There's more?
I found a pecan in his bag.
I'm
Alright,
just
let's see.
thinking, I'm just thinking now of Duke in town as when he was younger, stealing silver from like the expensive houses, and when he gets caught, he's like, "I run a silver cleaning service."
Yeah. Look, see, I polished all your silver up, and I was just
Yeah.
gonna put it back.
You're the friggin' Grinch of that.
Not everybody can afford, house staff at all times.
That's a good point.
So when
was
you
me,
need it cleaned, I'll do it.
So, Pat, what other questions did you have for Frederf, our little
right.
goblin friend?
How long has he been in this trance?
Oh, just a few days.
And we just started killing the zombie things. So how would he have known to tell you to find us?
He talks to me.
He talks to you.
We have known each other for a very long time.
I also think he might be lying to you. If that medallion that Duke is going to clean for him is what I think it might be, it might give him the possibilities to control both cold and heat. It might not, but I'm pretty sure it might involve that. I'd burn a book, but I don't think I have one left, I think.
I would burn a book.
Why don't you just take one of his? There's plenty of shit around.
That's a good point. Jay's has seen a library bookshelf over there with plenty of books on it.
Oh, so
if I point my finger anywhere in this room, I'm gonna see something magical.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, nice talking to you. Hold on a second. I'm going to walk up to good old Thomas and touch him on the forehead and cast telepathy.
Okay.
We're not going to kill him, Frederf, but we are going to commit vandalism.
I lean over to Jay's and I'm like, I don't think this is this little guy's father. I don't see any.
It's not my real daddy.
You can't see it. Look, it's in the chin.
It's only the chin. Everything else is completely different.
He's like 8 feet taller than him. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
So, Pat, we haven't done telepathy yet. Why don't you read the spell so we see what you would have done if you didn't fail casting a spell? Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't fail yet.
So, first of all, the spells that I would have wanted to have taken today would be Magic Missile, Invisibility as always, and Telepathy.
Okay.
That would be my goal, because I thought I could do Charm Person as well, but that's only if I had a fourth. You can even see it written down in the order that I would use it if I decide to go that route. So what it says for telepathy is you form a telepathic bond with a single person you touch, enabling you to converse with that person through your thoughts. You can only have one telepathic bond at a time.
Okay.
And I'm really hoping this goes through, because I'd like to get some information if I could. Right, +3, -1, and roll.
What the?
Well, it has +1, +3, and -1, -3, and I'm only at +2, so it's always you hear me every time. I'm like +3, -1.
It just reminds me of myself when I'm playing. It's like, if you know something's armor class is 15, I'll roll and I get 13 + 2 is 15. You have pluses? No. But anyway, I see an 11.
Yep, I tap him on the forehead and succeed.
All right, which means, and again, this is just a thing that I wanted to revisit on the wizard side, because I don't know that you've actually cast a spell yet and had a 10+. I think you've always had like drawing on one of attention or something.
Twice has been capped out.
Right.
I know that for a fact. It worked once on that one goblin early on, or was it the ball? It was one of those two. The ball. Yeah, that's right. And it worked on shattering him from the crystal, because I burnt the page, I used Magic Missile, and they struck at the same time. And I got the perfect 12 is what I got.
But the good thing is, on a 10+, the spell is successfully cast. You don't forget it. You can use it again later. But in the meantime, so you said you tap him on the forehead.
Yeah.
Do you say any words? I mean, is it just the visual, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
I wouldn't think that there would be anything more than just maybe a little bit of light on whatever part I'm about to touch. And we can say that when I touch, it makes like a weird reverberation or something like that.
It does the Hitchcock zoom where it's like,
there you go,
to his face.
Yes.
We can
And
do
no
that.
matter where you are, if you're looking in that direction, everything just looks bigger really fast and then goes back to normal.
It gets a lot harder to establish the connection if you're really far away because you have to be looking right at each other.
So Randy, Pat kicks that off. Telepathy. Immediately you hear Thomas's voice as you remember it, and he says, "Hello, Pat."
I assumed I'd hear a bunch of mumbling about volcano. Please work. Why won't you work? Or something along those lines, you know. I'm doing well,
Oh.
though. Thank you for asking, old friend. How are you?
So did Frederf ask you to stop killing our army?
Yes, and we did promise to not kill you and the army. So we're here.
Great.
I'm to talk to you. In my head, this whole thing has a little echo to it for some reason.
Okay, that's
Makes
cool
sense.
too. So.
Pretty much.
I assume the Crimson Order sent you here.
One of them wanted me to go. The other ones did not.
You know they're evil, right?
Well, you are part of them, so yes, I know.
Well, I was.
Oh, you're a necromancer
No.
now. Or sorry, the necromancer. My bad.
I'm trying to do it with as little facial expression as I can because I'm thinking telepathy. So bear with me as I'm trying to not smile and roll my eyes and stuff. But
Work on your ventriloquism.
well, I could do, but I can't move the anyway.
What you need is a
we
piece
could
of
do it.
cardboard to put in front of your face.
Yes, I need the piece of cardboard.
We could do it
So
special.
You
like,
can't
where,
have
like,
mine.
goes in his head.
you do hear exasperation in his telepathic voice. So that's what they've chosen to call me now.
Oh, are you not a necromancer? Because you are raising the dead.
I am constructing an army of volunteers to fight the cold.
What is this called? I was not getting a lot of information from your cohort here. And he also was confused about what exactly is going on too. Maybe you can tell me in your, well, more like our layman's terms.
Unfortunately, he is never not confused, but he's a great companion in our magical journeys.
Sounds like a person playing this character.
So, the cold. I want to word it like the Matrix. No one can tell you what the cold is. You have to see the cold.
You see, I feel that you're playing these guys. You have a medallion of both fire and snow, ice, something. I didn't get a good look until it was removed from your body.
Great. Who took it? Was it the thief?
Yeah, it was the thief, of course. We like to call him the jewel polisher, but that's
Don't tell I'll take it.
Oh my. So the trying to think of the way to say it.
Is there a
But
real evil here, or is this just a scheme you're pulling?
So here's where I can go back to with your discern realities earlier. There's no evil in the goblin. So if there's evil, it might be somewhere else. And I don't know if you can detect evil. So that would be another roll. But I can assure you, with all the success you had figuring out things when the goblin showed up, the goblin is not evil.
And believe me, I'll know if you're telling the truth because I've had it beaten in my head by my friend Manfred for a long time. We had the same sire a long time ago.
I'm afraid the cold has your friend.
So we should just help you then? Is that what you're suggesting?
I suppose you could help. I did not request your help. I assumed the Crimson Order sent you here to kill me so that the cold could win.
Well, it was our understanding you were out here killing and creating zombies, and you did kill the Crimson Order, which, bravo, they told me they weren't going to be here to begin with. Those schmucks.
Yes. They tried to stop me first.
What do they call you again? So if you're not a necromancer, what exactly are you?
Thomas. That has not changed.
Yes, Thomas the Pain. Okay.
So I hardly ever give anybody last names. So his name is Thomas. And when he was head of the Crimson Order, he was Thomas, the head of the Crimson Order. So he, as far as he's concerned, he's not that anymore. He's just Thomas because that's who he is. He doesn't have a like Thomas the Wandering Mage or anything like that. Just he doesn't have a title.
How does the cold work? Is it an embodiment? Is it literally just weather? What is it?
Unfortunately, we do not know for sure.
But you think
we think it is almost deific in nature. We think the gods may have something to do with it. All we know is wherever it touches, life stops. We must find a way to stop it.
Am I sensing any evil from him throughout this whole thing?
Well, that's the thing. You don't sense evil. So this is going to be a roll of some type or another. You could do another, that could trigger another discern realities if you're trying to study the person, because that's one of the things that triggers it.
Like to mentally hack and slash. No, just kidding. Okay, yeah, let's try discern realities.
Now, here's one thing. In telepathy, when you have communications with anyone, I can't remember, did it say you take anything forward based on the information?
No, it just simply said that I communicate with them. To go back to that spell. Hold on a second.
I just want to be sure, because sometimes you get an advantage that goes on past the initial effort.
You form a telepathic bond with a single person you touch, enabling you to converse with the person through your thoughts. You can only have one telepathic bond at a time. So it leaves it as that. Plus, it's concentration since it's ongoing. So someone decides that they're sick of me talking to them, they can smack me. I prefer they did not, though.
With that, then also remember for both Duke and Jays, it's clear that Pot's doing something, right? He's doing a wizard thing, but you don't hear anything.
All you hear is dee da dee dee do.
He has to keep that chant going for telepathy to work. Yes.
Man, wizards are weird.
Wizards are very weird.
All right, I guess I will try a discern realities just to
let's
see
give
if I
that
can
one
gain
another shot.
any more information. Because if he's not doing evil and he seems completely honest about this, then there is no reason to stop him. In fact, maybe even help fight the cold.
Oh no! What you got there, Andy?
4.
I got a 4. I got a rock.
4?
I got an experience point, a nice shiny experience. That's what I got.
Yep. So you got an experience point, and you're not sure. I'm not positive. Maybe it's that you hadn't really done much telepathy previously, and because of that, you're still figuring the spell out. Perhaps it could be almost anything, but you're getting no gauge whatsoever on the authenticity of this person's thoughts.
If you control a volcano and defeat the cold, what will you do afterwards?
I don't even know if it'll work. We're just trying to find, myself and Frederf, are just trying to find the most powerful heat to try to fight the cold.
Well, I will let you know that Talon's folks have noticed, and so did the Crimson Order, of activity untimely for this time of year. So you are doing something. Bravo.
The Crimson Order chose to serve the cold years ago. This is why I left. They are not to be trusted under any circumstances.
Don't trust them either, but I did not trust a necromancer. So if you swear that you're not evil, keep promise.
I never
I can
thought.
have an oath officiated by the fighter.
I never thought I could be evil. Am I evil?
Well, if everyone's volunteers, this is a very big gray area. Because you've only killed Crimson Order, who you were against to begin with, and they wanted to kill you first. You took goblins who volunteered to be killed. Clearly, you have a goblin that's still alive. So you haven't technically killed anyone who didn't deserve it. So no, not exactly, unless it was in your heart to be. Yes, die. To the Crimson Order.
What a relief. I guess I am good.
So
He
yes,
seems genuinely relieved that he's not doing evil.
let's put our Squidditch past behind us and let's team up for once. Let's stop this cold, shall we?
I agree. The Crimson Order must be stopped, but they are nothing compared to the cold.
Well, get some tissues. We're coming for the cold.
Stock up on Robitussin, my good man.
I'm going to break the telepathy after saying farewell. All right, I'm going to disconnect this call. I got two people on the other line.
And you guys do that thing where you're like, yep, okay, yep, thanks. All right, see ya. Bye.
All right, you call me. No, I'll call
You've
you. No,
called
you.
Thomas' phone. To speak to the volcano, press 1. The
Volcano says hi.
before you hang up, he does tell you that he will be done with this portion of the spell in a few minutes, and he can join you consciously.
Okay. Friend to me? I don't know. We'll work it out later. Bye.
He, in your experience there, he gave you no indication specifically good or evil. He just answered your questions.
Well, hopefully I don't fall for it. Because I rolled 4. Anyway, so I tell these guys basically the gist of everything that went down, and that I don't think we should turn our backs on him just yet, or like not completely disown him just yet. So, just I don't know.
Jace has some sort of magical doodad in his hands, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So he's not evil?
He doesn't think that he's evil, and he hasn't really killed anyone who didn't really have it coming and didn't volunteer to become zombies. And he wants to fight the cold.
There's
Did you ask-
zombies?
Did you ask him if he's got anything to eat around here?
Wait, Frederf, you don't know they're zombies?
They're soldiers.
No, they're mindless zombies.
To be fair, they were mindless before that. Zombies. I didn't think about that.
Do you know
Do
what
you
a
think
zombie
they'll
is,
hurt
little
me?
bud?
You think they'll
What's
hurt you?
Do you know what a zombie is, little bud?
Yeah, those things where they're dead and pieces of them fall off and you can't kill them, and
Wait, you
nasty.
haven't been around them?
They're not like that. And they aren't. Remember, I just described them as they looked lifeless. They're pretty new zombies, and they volunteered, so none of them had to get hacked up to get there.
Just like
I
pale
guess we
green.
did kind of just assume that they were kind of zombies. Well,
Yeah.
That's
But
what the
most of
Crimson
this
Order
stuff
told
is
us.
recent, so they haven't had a whole lot of time to decay. Plus, there's all this magic stuff going on, with the
That's true.
magma and all that.
it's like new vampires, so they still look like humans before they slowly
Sure.
get weird. Anyway,
Yeah, they've got to be in their coffin for like 200 years before they get those claws and weird
Then
hair
just
extensions.
Nostradamus looking.
Yeah.
Did you ask him if we could mess with any of this stuff while we wait?
I don't care. Break it all if you want. Just give me the books.
He won't mind if you borrow things. I do. I don't mind. I borrow things.
Yeah, we're helping you right now, as of now. So we're taking some things. If he wants it back, well, he'll take it up
Okay.
to gold.
That seems rude.
How do you guys get food here?
They ate in the village as of yesterday.
Since we came here, we have DoorDash.
There's
the
a
food-
wonderful
I was-
delivery.
I was trying to
courier
find a way
service.
to say the food was being delivered without saying delivered, because that's all I can think of when I think food delivery, like DoorDash, whatever. Well, I guess the easiest way he would say it is the food is brought from the outside. because it is, and he doesn't have a much better explanation than that.
Can we get some now?
We have.
I have a few. I have a few coins I could give for the tip.
So Eli, Jay's you said was holding up the little magical doodad when this came up. All right. Frederf looks at you and he says, I need that to place the food order.
I'd like a shepherd's pie. Speaking into it.
I love the taste of shepherds.
Yeah,
I found a crystal donkey. We'll just replace the staff too.
On that comment from Frederf, I'll just bud.
Hand him
All
the doodad. Yes. So he I'm just gonna play out the joke, I guess. He takes it, he talks to it in Goblin for a few seconds. You can clearly hear the placing an order. He says
Large.
Goblin word with white rice, something like that. And you like the mixing of the languages where you put the brand name in and say it in English and then go back to the original language kind of thing.
Wait, so white rice is a brand name here
in this case,
world?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But that's kind of the way it is. It's broken up with Goblin and then common words that maybe don't have words in Goblin. But essentially you hear that he's calling for some grains, some fruits, some meats, and
Duke wants a pecan pie.
And a pecan pie.
From Nottingham's. It's got to be from Nottingham's.
Only from Nottingham's, and it has not to be paid for.
Well,
that's a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, Jay's pie would be paid for, you see. With his own money, even.
Yeah.
If Duke's buying one, he's buying it with someone else's money. So it's practically moments. You guys are still trying to figure out what the goblin's ordering.
Do you get my Greek salad?
When next to Thomas on the floor, a basket just appears. And all of these things are in it. Things like I mentioned, fruits, nuts, meats, grains, foods. All relatively like fresh stuff, like Whole Foods just stopped by and left you guys a basket.
That is, I'm not going to lie, a little weird. I don't know how I feel about that. We didn't even work for that food. Feels like I haven't earned the meal.
We killed about 8 goblins on the way here.
I mean, I only did like 2.
Don't listen to him, buddy. We didn't kill any goblins.
They know we killed goblins. That's why he reached out.
Yeah.
This is for us not killing Thomas right away.
Exactly. So you can see overall by Freder's demeanor, he's just a relatively clueless, helpful person for Thomas. So he tries to answer. He is magical in some ways, but he's not like intelligent, smart, very wise, but not smart at all. So it translates pretty easily to, he realizes you've killed them, but he also knows that the only reason they existed was to be an army. And you guys were here to kill them as what they were, the army. So for him, it's just a wash. Bam. None of them were his friends per se. It's just, it happened next kind of thing. So he'll tell you too, the fruit is too sweet for my taste, but the meat is good.
I hope it's lean meat. I got to work on my protein intake.
I'll take a salad and a bit of beef.
You're getting cashews and venison?
Could be.
Yeah,
it is a bit gamey, yeah.
I cast 1,000 daggers.
I cast 1,000 island dressing. I will partake in the meal and wait for Thomas.
And then once the 1,000 island dressing is there, cast telepathy on it and talk to the dressing.
Who were you?
Well, I was this island. Then I was this island. And then I was this island.
It turns out instead of 1,000 island, it's 1,000th island.
I was a part of this one. 2/3 of this one.
Yeah, you just hang up that coal real quick.
So as as you guys eat whatever you want to eat, and we're kind of waiting for Thomas, Frederf looks like he just gets back to work. Like his job is organizing the stuff in this room. So he replaces the doodad that you had moved, Jay. So he puts that back. He puts the phone back on the cradle, essentially, right? So it puts back on the stand where you picked it up from. He rearranges. So did Pat end up taking any books?
He would have just grabbed a few to look to see what was going on with the reading, at least.
Okay. So if you took any book out of there, one of the other things that Frederf would do is straighten up the books that remain. So if you took one book and the next one leaned, he'd fix that and make sure everything's tidy. Go around to the tables, making sure the vials and the beakers are in the right places, nothing spilling over, adjust the flame here and there. So he's just like busy work. Like this is his job. And it's clear that he's good at it.
I like to think that there's a thing of those like 5-ball clacker things that I pulled one, and
Newton's
he just walks up and stops it after a while.
Yeah, he probably would. The incessant clacking.
I like
Beautiful.
that. Why'd you stop it? Helps me think of not killing people.
The
The voices, they stop when the clacking starts.
Oh my. Let's make that happen then. Clack, 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 clack. You
can do more than one at a time.
Food, any food you guys try is tasty. It's just fine. Nothing spectacular. Definitely nothing stale. Nothing bad. Not the best cashews you've ever had, but not the worst by any stretch. Right? They're good cashews. But as you guys are snacking, eating whatever. Speaking of which, if you guys want, some of this food would be portable. You used a ration when you made camp. If you want to add a ration back on, you can take enough of this food that it would count as adding a ration back on.
Yay.
Okay. I didn't delete any more things, so I'll just leave it.
There you go. It's a wash then. Yeah. Okay.
Plus, I'm ready to 10, so it saves me a step. I just didn't really think of it.
At that point, kind of while you guys are gathering up anything that you want to put in your pockets, while you're stealing from the guy, he kind of wakes up. So his eyes decloud, and his regular eyes, pupils, all that are back. You can see him now, and he immediately he kind of like sighs, and it looks almost like he gets a half a foot shorter, like he was just propped up by what he was doing. But he sighs, lets himself down, and blinks a couple of times, looks around.
Do we need to play a run for that hill for him or something to get him down?
He says to Pat, "Oh, you are here. I almost thought that was a dream."
You dream of me often?
No, that's why I didn't think you were here. I just knew somebody was out there killing our army.
Yeah, they're quite squishy.
And messy.
Very messy. I think Duke lost a sword.
Yeah, man.
You owe me a
find
sword.
Another one.
Give me a sword or I'll stab you.
Can we order a sword? Give me that sphere.
give me that magical doodad.
The magical doodad.
A sword with white rice, please.
In fact, it kills people.
White rice
into white rice.
It just shoots white rice instead of magic missiles.
I would love that.
But you have to be at full hit points to do
that.
So yeah, with him, no, he doesn't dream of you. But,
how did it go? Yeah. Did you finish? Did you complete that part?
Yes, we are at least one step closer to, finding out if this works. Who are your friends here?
Well, this is the thief, and this is the fighter.
Excuse me, the fighter has a name.
Okay, his name is John Jacob Julius George Jennifer Jacob. There's a lot of J's.
How dare you? That is my great-grandfather's name. My name, good sir, who I've been informed is named Thomas, is Julius Jacob Jedediah Jeffrey James Jonathan Jackson, son of Jacob Jedediah Jeffrey James Jonathan Jackson. It is an honor.
Who was the son of?
Indeed.
Not important. My grandpa, not important. Great grandpa, you already know him.
And this is Duke.
His name was Jonathan Jello.
Duke was the one who broke into the academy and stole books from me and a light staff. An explosive stick.
I've heard of Duke,
I didn't do any of that.
and I have heard he would say something just like that.
Or at least somebody looked like him who did it.
Yes. But I've not met this magnificent Jay creature before.
You can just call me Jays.
And
This is my shtick. My mom made it for me. That's her name right there.
how is the noodle
Just like
react-
wrapping around
Your
the
mom's name is Mother?
bowl. That's what everyone in the family
That's
calls
what
her.
everyone calls her.
It's mommy, mom, mom.
That's awesome. Yes.
What's
Got
the noodle
Stewie.
doing?
What's that?
What's the noodle doing?
His best.
You should have made me think about that sooner because I would have had a better answer. For now, though, what we're going to say is when you went into the magical portal to get to where you are now, the noodle kind of hid out in one of your larger pockets and is still there. So in order to know what it thinks, you would have to whip out the noodle and just present it with the
I
situation.
know you were just dreaming about me, but I have to whip out my noodle.
Pat,
Yeah,
I'm very uncomfortable with this.
Yeah.
I think Duke's even more uncomfortable with it. It
I was
touched
I
him.
was more uncomfortable with each word of that sentence as I led up to the laughter at the end.
All right.
But if you want to know, honestly, if you want to know, you'll have to introduce it because I should have had a lot more prepared for it, but we can at least take it from scratch.
Thomas, are you familiar with this?
Yes. I lost old Noodly. I'm going to call him Noodly now, I guess.
I've been calling him Snape. He wasn't quite a snake, and he got a hold of my cape.
There's a story that I'll share the full bit of it with you sometime.
Yes, please tell me about your noodle one day.
That creature is not mine and it's not yours. It has chosen to attach itself to you, apparently.
Yes.
It can be helpful. It can also be miserable. Be prepared to deal with ups and downs of Noodly.
Yes. I guess I will prepare for the noodle tea.
What
is dumb.
else?
All right. So
are you strong adventurers going to help fight the cold? Hey,
Duke here.
that's Duke. He stole your thing.
I did not do that. What thing? Anyway, what is in it for me to help you stop the cold? I came here because I assumed that a necromancer would have much nicer things than you do, but
Hey, that doodad was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, but I can't take it with me.
You know, Duke, a smart necromancer would have put us in a magical room in the middle of his army of dead, and once we killed him, the concentration spell pops and we all get murdered. So that might be part of it.
I
Maybe I'm
would
kidding.
appreciate if you would not call me a necromancer.
Sorry. Crimson Order are a bunch of D-bags, so they got that stuck in my head.
Yes.
Sorry,
And
Thomas.
we can accurately call them the Crimson Order. You cannot accurately call me a necromancer.
So,
but like, what's in it for us? To stop
really,
the
Oh,
cold?
back to that question. I'll tell you what, Duke. I'll need the medallion back while we carry this out, but you can have it when we are done.
It'll be a gift from me for replacing your light. Yes.
The medallion, huh? Can you describe what it looks like?
He describes it in intricate detail, including the little smudge you put on it when you took it off of him.
Oh, that medallion. Yeah, it fell and I picked it up and
It
was
fell into
cleaning
my
it.
satchel full of other people's jewelry.
Yeah, just let me, and I'm like digging through,
Yeah.
it's like your mom's purse, and there's like all this stuff
Mhm.
in there, like her cigarettes and lighter and all that stuff.
How did
And
Noodly get in there?
Nice. Got a little bit of everybody's stuff in there.
and
The
I'll hand it back to him now.
Manfred, why are you in that bag?
Manfred's there too. Nice. So he takes it back and he says, I appreciate it. It would be next to impossible to control the power of the volcano without this.
Okay.
And Pat would recognize it's probably some sort of focus item for his magic.
Yeah, but how much is it worth?
When we are done, it will be worthless to me. So you may have it.
I guess it's better than nothing.
I just realized I told you can have his trash when he's done.
And I'm still for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a
Well,
hoarder.
the thing is, his trash is indeed someone else's treasure. It's gold. I'm sure Duke has handled enough gold items to recognize the weight of this thing meant it is gold.
All right.
Unless they filled the gold with lead or something, right? Which makes less sense in this case.
Well,
that works. So it's definitely worthwhile.
That works for me, but what are you going to give these other two guys?
We can discuss your payment to me in private, but I have two more important questions that need to be answered.
Go on.
Firstly, I am at least mostly certain that the things that I turned into a bloody paste on the walls of the volcano caverns were zombie goblins. How are you not a necromancer? And secondly, I was sent to investigate an entire goblin village going missing. I was knocked unconscious. Tangent on that. Did you knock me unconscious? Main question on that point.
When you say that, by the way, you see Frederf blushing furiously. It's definitely Frederf that knocked you out.
Main question on that point. What I guess this isn't really something you can answer, but what's the right course of action here if you made that village? Is it? But then you wouldn't be. But he said you weren't evil. How are you not a necromancer?
How are you making them into these weird zombie things?
You think you're confused. Imagine what's going on inside of Joe's head.
Who's Joe? Oh, no.
By the way, Jay, if we did discern realities over Frederf, and you asked for what to look out for, it would be his left hook.
That's kind of funny. So anyway, he says it is difficult to explain. Yes, they are dead, but they are not undead. They have.
Is this like putting apple juice in a beer bottle?
Maybe. Pat might understand more. Not that I don't think you could understand. And he glances at your flail covered in the nasty, like he doesn't want to die.
And I think while like I'm asking all these things and like the little hand motions I was doing here on camera, I think I would like to think that Jays is also like just casually swinging his flail around, gesturing with it.
Yes.
This easily like 30-pound weapon of war. Just wait a second, but then how are you not a necromancer? Yeah.
And that immediately just made me think of all those bad movies where the actor doesn't really know how cops are and they're holding their gun and they're using it to point at things.
Oh,
like it's just so casual, like that thing over there and that thing, and that's what I just thought in my head as you're doing it. It's like you're just casually pointing your deadly weapon at different things because that's just what you do.
Exactly.
Nice.
And I'm the fighter. Who's gonna stop me?
But he does get that wary look when he does mention that not that you wouldn't understand or not that you couldn't understand, but
you shouldn't understand.
It's definitely magic. So let's say
magic.
He talks to
in
Pat.
A corpse. That sounds like necromancy, man.
He talks to Pat in like speech from a profession you're not familiar with. So like all the words you understand, but not in the order they're used or what it is. But essentially for Pat, what you get is these things are just, they are drained of their blood because that's used to actually infuse with the magma and then magically reinfused back into the body. So they are dead, but they're not, they haven't been evilly, there's no necromantic magic. It's more oh gosh, what's the word for it? Like
It's like
thaumaturgy.
transfusion.
It's more like
Thaumaturgy.
thaumaturgy. It's the making the earth the magical part, and it's the magma and the magic there that is reanimating these zombies who volunteered to fight for this. Now, there's a whole separate thing that you could say, you know, was it morally acceptable for him to convince the goblins to, you know, kill themselves to do this? That's a whole separate question. But they did indeed volunteer based on the information they were given.
Now, did they know they weren't going to be able to come back from that?
Yeah, I mean, he demonstrated, he really does think he's doing a good job. This guy's convinced. But he showed them with Frederf's help. And also, you probably are, all of you may be making the connection at any point that Frederf is obviously an influential goblin of this tribe because his father was the one who founded it, who has the statue in the center. So it was easier for him working with Thomas to get the goblins to go along with it.
Okay.
Right,
So it's like the difference between an eclair and a jelly donut.
Yeah, I guess you could say it that way. These guys are filled with magma instead of custard or delicious.
Wow, you're really just gonna yuck someone's yum like that?
What did I say bad? I mean,
I didn't.
Yes, I would rather have a jelly donut.
Okay, so
Boston cream pie, or not Boston cream donut.
Boston
What?
cream donut is also custard.
Yes, delicious custard. Yeah.
Why do I know so much about donuts, you ask? No, I don't know.
Or the
Oh.
lemon filled kind. Those are good too.
You lost me.
all I know is I want some pecan pie.
Yeah. Well, if you guys had mentioned it, there would have been one in the basket. It wouldn't have been from Nottingham. So,
Well, I specified it's got to be from Nottingham's.
yeah.
That's why we didn't get it.
If it's
Gone
not
for the moon.
if it's not Nottingham's, it's not worth it. That's their slogan.
So so the pecan pie that did show up, the pecans were in the shape of a sad face.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Literally trash.
We
Do you want it?
No.
Okay, so I guess that just show me what I gotta break. That's just show me what I gotta break. I'm gonna sit in the corner until you need something broken. Show me what I gotta break.
We can definitely do that when the time comes. In the
I'm gonna
meantime,
keep playing with this. Picking up
in
the
the meantime, we'd like to take the fight to the cold, but that means traveling for days to the east, and the volcano cannot travel. Perhaps you could help me come up with a plan.
We could pick it up.
The volcano.
Oh, hold on. I think I see where this is going.
And move it somewhere else.
I got to do this. Frederf has Thomas kind of lean over so he can whisper in his ear, and you distinctly hear Frederf whispering to Thomas, "Yeah, and he keeps calling me a little boy."
Oh, but how would we put it back? It's probably pretty important for it to be here.
It keeps the soil rich with its heat.
Yeah. I guess moving the volcano is not an option.
We need
That's
to
fine.
open.
I didn't want to do
no.
it anyway.
We need to open some sort of portal that, when this thing is able to be controlled and erupted, it can attack the cold head on.
That is a great idea, Pat.
I can help with one of the two steps.
Which
could-
one?
I could get you. I can either do a ritual. I'm trying to think of how best to do it. Either
Do you need to do another book burning?
I may have to do a lot of book burning for this kind of thing.
Do you have a lot of books,
I
Thomas?
have
Yes.
supposedly
Yes.
two.
The
myself.
library here in this room, as well as others.
But are they magical books that I can use to power a magical strong spell?
From what I hear of the rules, yes, they could be used in a ritual.
I might be able to use.
Is this like an old college buddies inside
That's
joke
what that
thing?
guy. That's what that guy Joe told me.
So what you're saying is you get to stay here in the warm volcano room, and we have to travel far to the east to open up this portal for you.
And with a completely serious look on his face, he takes the medallion back off and holds it towards you and says, "We could trade places if you'd like."
Nah, it's all good. I tried that magic stuff once before, and I show him my mangled hand.
The only magic he has.
Forgot about that.
The only magic he has is that charming personality.
Yeah.
Hey. And a couple of throwing knives.
Yes.
So, yeah, and it's a good point though. He does tell you essentially yes that they, and I'll just kind of give a quick summary of maybe a little back and forth, but he'll tell you over the years the cold has been coming from the edge of the earth and from the eastern edge, and originally people thought it was just the ice cap growing. It turned out that it seemed to have a mind of its own. It would go into places where ice shouldn't be, places that were too warm. Whenever it encountered life, the life would just die and then freeze as well. So think of like if it touches a plant, the plant withers, turns brown, and then freezes. So it's like a combination of death and cold. They still don't know what's behind it. It's been years in the making, but over the last several months, pretty much in the time that the Crimson Order's been looking for the necromancer, in the last several months or so, it has accelerated, and the cold is poised to come onto the mainland where essentially everybody lives, including you guys. And it's going to, at some point, start to, destroy civilization as you know it.
So I can put a circle around you that will activate when you get full control and can release an explosion. That will open a portal above the vent, the opening of the volcano. And meanwhile, we'll travel however long it takes to get to where we need to be. And when the time comes, I'll open another portal on the other side.
That sounds like it could work.
Hopefully the timing works perfectly. I don't know how we can stay communicating. Anyone have any rocky talkies or anything of the sort we can communicate?
Technically, between yourself and Thomas, you could come up with something, in the next few hours that would allow you like 1 or 2 times of communication.
I will cast telepathy on you, and then I'll just hold the concentration the whole time.
What if you used the food doodad to summon specific foods to send specific messages?
That could work.
That's the smartest thing you've said this whole trip.
I have felt a lot smarter traveling with you guys.
That could work. Can you spare your food thing? Do you need to order a bunch of... You want our rations? We'll take the food thing with us. Or should we just order something for you every day?
I can arrange for sustenance while you're gone. So feel free to take it. I think it's a splendid idea, but you'll need to let me know what the system is.
How many days, weeks, or whatever do you think it'll take for you to control its full power? If this works.
Before, and he's trying to find a polite way to say this, before this most recent interruption, I would have thought I'd be done today, but probably now 3 or 4 days, probably about the amount of time it would take you to reach the edge of the cold.
All right. Sorry for the interruption, but it's better than killing you upright, right?
I am pleased beyond words that you did not kill me.
pretty sure that Trent, we have a sort of explosive stick that we could have put in your trousers, and
I've got an explosive stick in my trousers already.
okay, with that, we're gonna leave. The order will be a pecan pie with strawberries.
I don't believe him.
Randy, make sure you write it down because I won't remember. And I'm not writing it right now. So just because we won't have to remember which recording it was and go back and figure out what the heck the signal was supposed to be. But what you're saying is pecan pie with strawberries when you're ready?
Yes,
Okay.
because that is nuts. So
Hey-o.
No one would ever say that.
I hate you.
Cool. All right. So what were you? Is that? Let me think back to that. Was not what the circle was, right? The circle was the portal itself.
the circle is,
and you're going to activate it when you send a pecan pie.
Yes. That'll be the trigger that I'm going to fire up the opening of the portal, and he can then fire straight up with the volcano erupting it, and it'll erupt out the other side.
So we're looking at a ritual then, and we should kind of, you mentioned that, but we should refer to the actual move, the starting move for the wizard for ritual. So what I would want to do, first off, you are definitely in a place of power. You're in a magical portal room special. So you're in a good enough place that you can kick off a ritual for sure. Secondarily, we can go with the first bullet from it, which is it's going to take days, weeks, months. In this case, it's going to take days. So what I'll be reminding you of as we talk about the travel from where you are to the cold is you have to remember in your head certain things about the portal and or the ritual, and I might make that distract you at some point. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
We're going to go with the you need help from, and I'm going to say Thomas, and in this case it's going to be you're going to use his stuff, his books, any paraphernalia from his magic experiments and what have you. And then the last thing that you'll need to do is you know that when this happens, you are going to be in a place that you've never been before. So to open up that portal, you're going to have to remember this spot. You need to think of something that will help burn this spot into your mind so you can't forget it. I want to kind of leave that to you.
Think of the clackers.
Clackers, clack, 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 clack. But you've got to be able to visualize it perfectly for this portal to work.
I mean, I have another idea.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Your idea?
We get a bunch of bananas and we mark out the circle in bananas because that shit's bananas.
That shit is bananas.
Yeah, throw it right back at you. Right back at you. How you feel about that, huh?
A bit fruity.
Oh,
That joke was appealing.
Oh no!
I hate
Zeb
it.
doesn't want to participate.
Got nothing, man. I can't do it.
I guess you slipped that one up.
No.
Bananas are yellow.
Oh damn, dude. He got it. This boy's got it.
In character and everything. Woo. All right. So anyway, as you're putting the banana circle on the floor, there, you're circling. What was it going to be around where he was standing in the center of the room? Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes, because
Okay.
he'll need the. I'm assuming he'll need the energy as well from it to help the portal open and for him to time it just right for him to fire. I don't know. That's what what I was thinking would work.
That is the true thing because you have said it now. So yes,
And
that is what's going to happen.
And for the 3 things I usually use will be 3 slow burning black candles that have purple flame when they're lit, which they will of course be lit right away, and they need to be used before it runs out, which is about 4 or 5 days.
Nice. Since I said it was going to be like 3 or 4, I like the way you padded that a little bit. Nice. Okay. Excuse me. So you guys get yourselves ready. You head out. He has to open a way for you to get out. And he can essentially just place you right at the outside of the volcano where you had first entered. Unless there was anything else you wanted to do inside.
Real quick, Thomas, how did the cold get Manfred all the way over here?
That's what we do when a player is unavailable for the evening.
It comes and
I
goes.
think he's just a mad wizard. I don't think it's a matter of evil or not. I think we just kill him.
I think we
Can't
go.
argue with that.
I think we go.
What sane person wouldn't?
All right, please let us out of the room so we can go and stop the cold.
Please let me leave.
He's just losing it. He was getting smart. Now he's losing it.
Fine. I will open a doorway to you to exit the volcano.
Thank you.
And he does that, and it's just like the one you walked in. It just looks like a regular hallway, but you can tell you're being transported elsewhere. And of course, if you hadn't already guessed, at the end of it is the volcano as well as the end of the episode.
See, I thought he was going to open up the portal. We'd fall right into the volcano, die in a campaign right there. He was evil the whole time.
That could have been interesting, but I did throw what was going to be the big twist at you guys tonight, and that at least on the surface, he's not the evil one. There's something else going on too.
It
So
seems to be. The plot thickens.
I get to beat up more nerds when we go home.
You're definitely going to get to beat stuff up. I'm sure of it. But what I want to do is let's quickly go through our end of session. Remember what this is? We're doing bonds. Does anybody have a bond that they feel they fulfilled, is no longer relevant, anything like that?
So my bond was Manfred is in constant danger. I will keep him safe. I think I failed that completely.
I'm going to say that one's a no.
Yeah. If he's been taken by the cold, he's probably frozen, which means I've probably also failed mine. Which is Manfred is hard, and I will make him soft like me.
There you go.
If he's frozen solid, I don't think he's going to be soft.
Probably not.
But one I think I actually did do, finally, is Duke is woefully misinformed about the world. It takes more than just theft to get what you want. I'll remind him until he learns. He picked up a goblin and chose friendship to get his way instead. Maybe.
I was just trying to help.
Chose kidnapping instead of theft. Maybe that's still
kidnapping is theft. It's a theft of a person.
But I brought it back.
I'll still hold on to that one.
Eli, it's kidnapping, not kid thefting. Come on.
Well, he didn't put the goblin to sleep, neither.
That's true.
I do think, though, I heard more than once that you were telling him not to steal. So, I mean, in my opinion, that could be, especially if you think you're going to struggle with that bond, that could be a way to say it's resolved now.
Yeah, that is true. He did refrain from stealing a few times. Not completely, but it did work.
Yeah.
Mostly it was Jay's threats, I think. But
my eyes were wide. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I gave the medallion back. So what are you going to do?
Well, he told you he'd give it back to you again.
Yeah, but as a thief, do I really take that man's word for what?
No. Well, maybe, I don't know. That'll be up to Duke. Does Duke have any bond that we think is worth resolving?
Duke resolved both of his bonds last time, and he has been woefully absent-minded. So he has not formed any other bonds.
He bonded out. Cool. Then. The alignment. I always forget that's the second one. Alignment. Does anybody have anything to say about how they played versus the description on your alignment? Do you think you fulfilled it?
I found out a lot more about the darkness, so discover something about a magical mystery seems to somewhat.
Now, by darkness, do you mean the cold?
Or the cold, I mean, not the darkness.
Because
the
I would the last. Then you didn't learn a lot about it if you don't remember its name.
The cold, yes. I was thinking earlier about how we got killed by darkness. I was hoping we weren't getting killed by a wall of cold this time. So.
That's funny.
Sorry.
You've definitely uncovered more magical mystery stuff. I mean, in this case, I would easily say that Thomas is a mystery that you weren't expecting. You're expecting an evil necromancer with zombies and blah, blah, blah. And that is no longer the case.
That's true, too.
You thought the Crimson Order were sending you to something for the good, and they apparently aren't or
Nope.
didn't. That's not necessarily magical, but it's definitely a difference.
Definitely so.
All
So if you don't
right.
mind me claiming that one, I'll take it.
I did not. I did
Is
not
that
avoid
infiltrate
or infiltrate a location at all.
Ah.
Now, I will say I do have flexible morals. Do those also work on you?
Me?
When someone tries to detect your alignment, you can tell them any alignment you like.
Oh,
Zeb wants to show you how flexible he is.
Yeah, because
Oh my.
if that was the case, I would say that I'm chaotic right now, and I leapt into danger by
There
following
you go.
the goblin.
You went first into the portal of
Yep.
darkness.
Well, I mean, this is another one though. We can still keep the alignment as is and rewrite it to something like that. That I will lead them both. But what was it? It's neutral, right?
Yeah.
You have neutral. So you would probably want to word it something like, I will make sure I lead people into danger and into safety.
Okay.
Because that's kind of neutral. You'll do both.
True.
And as long as you do both, then that would fulfill the intent of the alignment.
I don't mind taking a mulligan on this one, but I'll
That's
think
cool.
of something better.
There you go. So now, as far as the last three questions, did we learn something new and important about the world? The answer is yes. I just talked about some of that.
We did.
Yeah. Now, here's one. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? And I want to hear what you guys think.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean defeat. It just says to overcome.
Yeah.
And I think becoming what we thought was going to be a very tough battle against an evil necromancer turned into some sort of allyship against a greater evil. I don't know if that...
I think a better way to word that, Randy,
Yeah, go ahead.
is that we have gained more knowledge on the situation. We know more. And as a great man once told me, knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. Young.
What do you think, Zeb? And now I want to hear your take on it too, because I like these two so far.
Yeah, no, I was gonna agree with what Randy said. It's really like our information going into that was that this was the enemy, and we overcame it with friendship.
That's cool. You get an experience point for your collective Care Bear stare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Save the world.
I completely agree, and that's one reason I wanted to ask you guys, because that, for me at least, as soon as I remembered the questions, I'm like, that's how I want to play this one. You indeed overcame the necromancer in the way we worded, the way it played out. The necromancer is no longer an enemy, because there really wasn't
no necromancer.
Eli,
I have a tangent related to this question.
I like tangents.
It is in regards to my character's alignment.
Okay.
The neutral alignment for the fighter is defeat a worthy opponent. And with this collective XP point established, I would like to argue that I have defeated the monster that is known as misinformation and propaganda.
Ah.
I like that. So yeah, for the alignment, go for it. Get that point in there. And then the last question, did we loot a memorable treasure?
For like 10 seconds.
Yeah, but we get to keep the food, doodad.
There's nothing about loot and keep. Retain is not part of the concept, from what I can tell.
Then yes, we did.
All right. Let's go ahead and mark one for that then. And we had a few fail rolls this evening. I'm guessing somebody's not too far away from level 3.
What? How much experience is it?
If it's 7 plus your level or something like that.
Level up. It is. Oh, my brain just left me for a moment, and I have it in front of me, so I'm trying to find it. But it's your level plus
When you
7.
have downtime, hours or days, and XP equals 2 or greater than your current level plus 7, subtract your current level plus 7 from your XP, increase your level by 1, and choose a new advanced move from your class. If you are a wizard, you also get to add a new spell to your spellbook. Choose one of your stats and your stats.
Increase by 1.
Choose one of your stats and increase by 1.
Increase by 1. The
yours.
So the number is 7. Your current level plus 7 is what you need. So in our case, I think everybody would need 9 points.
Okay.
So
And that
if
means
I've been doing all my points correctly, I'm actually at 12 points as of the end of the session.
Oh, all right. So then you're ready to level up again.
Because I had leftover from the last time because
Yeah.
I think I was screwing up.
Because you only reduce your total by the amount it takes to level up. You don't like wipe it clean.
we got 3 from the world, and then I had rolled 1 failure and I had 5, so that's 9. So we're good. I leveled up.
Eli, how close is Jay's? Or is he there?
I'm 5 away. I didn't do a
5
whole lot of rolling.
away? Good gosh, man.
I need to just try and break more stuff. I'm sorry.
You need to use your lowest thing a lot more.
Right. I mean, I guess I could just try and every time you try to discern realities, I could just push you to the ground. No, me.
Yeah,
I want to know the thing.
I would like to discern. What the?
You can be the guy that always gets in the way when someone tries something. So essentially, anybody that goes to make a roll, Jays can roll to aid or interfere, like every time.
Right, aid or
like
interfere.
Reflex. Yes. And then you get to choose whether you're giving them the +1 or the -2.
It's
right?
like having an opposite height man.
I will have to remember that.
Ooh, can I help? Ooh, can I help?
Not help.
Folks, Jays is about to become a lot more silly.
Cool. And on that note, we're going to wrap this one up for tonight, so we can all say the old bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
Hey, Zeb, do you know how a banana answers the phone?
Yellow.
Yellow.